In this video, we're going to look at how to find the center and angle of rotation. So if you look at these two pictures below, M has been rotated to become this M, which we have points A prime and B prime on it. So we're going to just follow these steps here and find the center and angle of rotation. So the first thing it says is we're going to connect points A and A prime. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So you're going to use your straight edge. You're going to connect A to A prime. And then the next step it says is to use a compass and a straight edge to find the perpendicular bisector of this segment. So remember, when we do the perpendicular bisector, we're going to go more than halfway from one point. So I'm going to start at point A prime. I'm going to adjust my compass so that I go more than halfway. And you're going to draw your arcs above and below the line, then switch over to A prime, or A, and you're going to draw your arcs. And then if you draw your line through that, so I'm going to go ahead and make a line, let me do a different color here, so I'll do this light blue color, and that's going to go through the intersection points, so that'll be my perpendicular bisector. And then we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do it for B and B prime. So connect a line from B and B prime. You're going to do the perpendicular bisector. So I'm just following those directions up top there. So go from B to B prime, and you're going more than halfway. Draw the perpendicular bisector, so draw your arcs above and below. Go over to the other endpoint, do the same thing. And so you can see mine doesn't connect, so all that means is I got to go back to B prime and just extend that out a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these. I'll use this pink color for the perpendicular bisector. So the pink and the turquoise are the perpendicular bisectors, and notice that they cross at this point. This point right here is going to be the center of rotation. So it's wherever the perpendicular bisectors cross, because that right here, this point, is equidistant from B and B prime, because remember, any point on the perpendicular bisector is equidistant from the two endpoints. It's also equidistant from A and A prime, because any point on this perpendicular bisector is equidistant from A and A prime. And the center of rotation has to be equidistant from all of the pre-image and image points. So it's equidistant from B and B prime, equidistant from A and A prime. If I were to put a third set of points, so let's say I put a C and a C, and I did the same thing, I did another set of perpendicular bisectors, you would see that it crosses at the same spot. The perpendicular bisector would also intersect here. So the center of rotation is where two or more of your perpendicular bisectors cross. The last thing it says is to draw the angle of rotation. So the angle of rotation is going to be from here, from the intersection, and it's going to be this angle right here. So I'm just going to highlight it. So from any pre-image to image point. So from the center to any pre-image to image point. I could have also drawn the angle from A to A prime. It would be the same angle. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to measure this angle using my protractor. So take your protractor, and we're just going to place it on the center. One edge will be on the side connecting to B. And then you're going to just measure that. So measuring up until you hit B prime. So it looks to me as if it's like 75 degrees. Now remember, this is a pretty thick My highlighted line's pretty thick, so it's not exactly, it's not the perfect measurement, but I would say it's about 75 degrees if you look at where it connects. So that means the angle of rotation equals 75 degrees. Now it says to verify that, meaning if I measured from A prime to A, so that angle, it should also be the same. I'm not going to go ahead and do that, but it should work out to be exactly the same. The last thing I do want to mention, though, is the direction of rotation. So we have the center of rotation is right here. I think it said to label that point O. And then it said the angle of rotation, 75. The direction of rotation, so going from the A, B to the primes, it's going this direction here, which is going to be counterclockwise. So I'm just going to add that. Direction is counterclockwise. So if I wanted to describe this to someone, I would say rotate M around center O 75 degrees counterclockwise. So that's actually how you would state it.